All right, guys, welcome back to my channel. You are watching From Nisha's View, and it's Photography Talk with Nisha. And today we're going to get into the difference between strobe or flash photography and using a constant or continuous light. I got this question from a viewer in my comments wanting me to explain what is the difference between those two. So I decided, why not? Let's talk about it. So stay tuned. All right, so let's talk about what is the difference between a strobe or a flash and continuous or constant light. A strobe is a pulse of light. It is basically just that. It is a flash of light. And with that, you can control the power and how powerful that light is with your strobe or your flash. And continuous or constant light is just that. It's a constant light that just stays constant. You know, there are some LED lights now that you can increase the power for, but it's nothing like a strobe or a flash. So basically those are the two things, the two differences between a strobe and a constant light. Which one do you think you know, would be a perfect fit for you in your photography? It just depends on what you're looking for, what you're looking to do. What is the purpose? What is your purpose? If you go back to my videos earlier, I talk about what is it that you're wanting to convey in your story as far as being a photographer. What is it that you're looking to do? So today I'm just going to talk about the pros and cons, my pros and cons, because it's all relative, right? For you. So for a strobe or your flashlight, one pro that I think is very important is that you can adjust the power that's coming out of that light, out of that strobe. That way you can overpower the sun. You can overpower any type of ambient light that you can, that helps you to create that depth of field as well. So definitely that is a pro. Overpowering overpowering the ambient light, overpowering the sun. You know, you can control that with your power, and that's a plus, especially if you're wanting to create a certain mood or effect. Then it's definitely a good thing to have. The second thing that I would say is a pro would be that you can actually freeze. You can freeze motion. So I like to use the flash and the strobe when I have the wind blowing. I say when I pull out my Beyonce fan and the ladies or the guys, and their hair is just blowing in the wind. When you click that flash and you click that probe, when you click that flash and that strobe, it freezes it. So you can actually see the movement in the hair. You can see the movement. If they're moving, it freezes that action. So that is definitely a plus if you're looking to use your flash and your strobe. Different type of modifiers that you can use with strobes and flashes. You can have a softbox, which is, you know, there are so many different, you know, size softboxes that you could use. Strip lights or strip box you could use. You have beauty dish that you could use, and basically just it by itself, you could use the light as, you know, your modifier if that's the look that you're looking for, you're looking to do. Umbrellas, you could use umbrellas with your strobes and your flash, and all of these things create different lighting and different moods. Again, that goes back to what you're looking for. What are you looking to create? What is your purpose? What are you looking to, you know, your outcome to be? Okay, so those are my pros of why I like to use a strobe and like to use a flash. I also like to use it for my headshots. So whenever I'm doing headshots, I'm going to pull out the flash. I'm going to pull out the strobe, because to me, it just gives a different look to the pictures. And I just did headshots. If you following me, you just seen my headshots with the natural light. Okay, but there's just something a little extra about using the flash. And for me, it's the catch light. The catch light in the eyes just does something. It makes the photo come alive and makes the eyes just pop. Now you can get that in your natural light, in which I did, there was some catch light in those pictures that I showed with the natural light. But when you're doing like professional headshots, or if you're doing any type of like beauty work, then I would definitely use a strobe or flash for that work. Cons. So yes, there are some cons that comes with using a strobe and a flash. And one con would be that you need additional equipment. If you're going to use a strobe, you're going to use a flash, you need a trigger. So that's very important to consider. You don't just buy the flash or the lights. You have to have a trigger to go with that to make the flash pop or make the strobe work. You have to have a trigger. Number two, it's not real ideal for video work. I use a constant light for that, and we'll get into that. But for your strobe, it's not really ideal to use it for video work. Normally there is a modeling light on your strobe or your flash, but it's not powerful. For me, it's not as powerful using that modeling light for video work to light the scene or light the subject that you're shooting. Those are the pros and cons for me, just for me, for using a strobe. Okay, not too bad. There's things that you can overcome as you become more confident using a strobe and using a flash. But yeah, those are some things that you have to look out for. Now, for continuous light, let's get into some pros of why I choose or work with continuous light. Number one, right off the bat, it is great for video. Great. I'm using it right now. I'm using my light that I got. This light here is from, you've seen it if you watch my natural light headshot video, then this is the light that I'm using there. And in the pop out that I'm showing for those videos, I actually used this light. This is just, but this light here, it's pretty powerful. It is, again, it's a constant light and it's great for video. So the majority of the video that I'm showing now, the videos that I record, I pretty much use this. And if I'm being portable, then I would take this with me, just to give a little bit of pop. But for sure, constant light is great for video because it is that constant light. And with the newer constant lights and continuous lights, there is a way you can change. That's another tip. Number two is that you can change the color of the light. For most constant light now, you can get them bicolor, which means that you can change the Kelvin, you can make them cooler, you can make the light cooler, you can make the light warmer. You can even have, like I said, bicolor LED lights, which changes the color of the output. So definitely, constant light is great for that. Constant light is also great if you're just beginning. It's a great tool to get started with artificial lighting. If you're just starting out, then buy they're pretty inexpensive, but they can get up in price depending on how much power you need to put out. But for the most part, if you're just getting started with artificial light, constant light would definitely be a good way to get into artificial light. It is also good for product photography. So if you're a product photographer, I would definitely recommend getting a constant light more so than a strobe. All right, so the cons to a constant light, it's not as powerful. So the output is not going to be, you're not going to really overpower the sun with a constant light. Unless you get, there are some constant lights that you just gonna have to pay more in order to get that output, like you may want it for a flash or a strobe. But for me, technically, I would not use it outside if I'm trying to overpower the sun or even maybe overpower ambient light in the room. It's not going to freeze that action. It's not going to freeze the hair like I want it to. It's not going to, stop motion right? So if you have someone that's waving, waving something, or a dancer, then you're going to, so that would be the third thing, that you may increase motion blur in there because you don't have enough power. Okay, Nisha, you said a lot. Yeah, I've said a lot. But so which one should I pick? Should I go with a strobe or a flash, or should I do a continuous light? And I would say, so it really depends on what it is that you're trying to do. That's pretty much it, But for me, I would definitely recommend a constant light if you're doing videos a lot, video work, constant light. If you're doing more, maybe let's say fashion photography, or maybe even like headshots, professional headshots. If you're doing a lot of freeze type of work, then maybe go with your strobe or your flash. Or if you're wanting to overpower the sun, if you're doing a lot of stuff outside, doing photo shoots outside, and you want to overpower the sun, create that depth of field, then the strobe or the flash may be your way to go. But yeah, it just depends. Everything depends on what it is that you're trying to do and how you want, your photography to come out. So that is basically it. That's all I have today. And I hope I kind of explained it a little bit to you. I don't want to get all in the weeds of, the power and the technical and all that good stuff. But I just wanted to kind of break it down as to the pros and cons of flash or strobe and continuous or constant light. All right. So if you made it this far, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Hit me in the comments. I love to talk. I love the dialogue. So for sure, let's talk about it. And then, like, share, all that good stuff. All right. And so until next time, I'll talk to you then.
Thanks for watching my GG channel. Period.